Hi, this is Majo John Madden. I also go by the name Juanito, which I picked up in Mexico a couple years ago. I am sitting in the center courtyard of Fletcher Rehabilitation and Healthcare Center south of Asheville, North Carolina, where I'm rehabilitating for some big surgery I had a week ago. So it's real peaceful, real pretty in here, calm, and nicely warm on September 9, about 10 o'clock in the morning. I've got a couple stories about B.J. Leiderman. Now, if you recognize the name B.J. Leiderman, you probably either live in Asheville, North Carolina, where for the last, I want to say 10 years, maybe 15 years, B.J. has retired here. Not retired, he's a very active musician. And he's very popular. He's got a very popular rock and roll band and contributes his time for a lot of benefits. And he's about to headline or be the act at a benefit for public radio, which is under fire. If you know the world of public radio, you know that the current administration in the U.S. finds information incredibly threatening and is at war with all fact-based information, including public radio. So there's going to be a benefit on September 28th for public radio here, Blue Ridge Public Radio, and BJ is the headliner. And I'm about to share the announcement about that. And I want to share two BJ Leiderman stories. I have been a fan of public radio for 40 years. I think just about 40 years. Back into the days of Bob Edwards in the morning and Susan Stamberg in the afternoon. And one of the ways you may know B.J. Leiderman's name is that on several shows on public radio, they will say our theme music was written by B.J. Leiderman, something like 30 years ago. And he did that. So, two stories about B.J. Leiderman. He was headlining a benefit at the White Horse Black Mountain, which is a major music club east of Asheville in the little village of Black Mountain. And I was next to last. I do performance poetry, and in my 16 years in Asheville, from 2004 to 2020, I became somewhat noted as a local poet and would work with musicians a lot, and got recruited to be at a benefit. And in the not enviable position, I followed 4 music numbers and then came on with poetry, and people did what they naturally would do, and they'd say, oh, good, time to talk. Let me go find my friends and chat while this bozo does poetry. And I did what I had learned how to do as a performance poet. I leaned into the emotional power of the poem I was doing, and I had learned that the more personal you make a poem, the more powerful it can be to other people, the more it will reach other people. So I used all my performance chops, even without a musician, and got them back. When I wrapped that poem up, people had stopped their conversations. They were with me, and they gave me real strong applause as I came off the stage. First time I had worked on such a serious music club stage. And as I came down the stairs, BJ and his band were sitting on the stairs waiting to go on. And BJ, who knew me, looked at me and said, you rocked it, man. So that's one of my great moments. BJ Leiderman said I rocked it. And then my other BJ Leiderman story is not Bob Edwards. Scott Simon does the Saturday morning news show, Weekend Edition Saturday, for something like 30 or 40 years. And every Saturday, he weaves B.J. Leiderman's name into a story in some cockamamie way that makes you stop and say, now why is he talking about B.J. Leiderman? And after one of those, I called BJ because I knew him at that point and said, "Are you like close personal friends with Bob Edwards, with Scott Simon?" "No, but when they had me write all that theme music, the only compensation I got was that they cited. They give a reference at the end of the show that the theme music came from me." And Bob Edwards Scott Simon always thought that was not adequate, because by that point, people are not listening to the show anymore. They really don't hear it. So he weaves it into his show in some novel way, which makes you hear it, just because he's a good guy and he thinks I deserve more credit than that. So that's BJ Leiderman. So if you're in the Asheville area, September 28th, 3 to 5, I think, in the afternoon, come out and dance. I'm hoping that I will be enough recovered from 6 months of renal failure and pretty major surgery that's supposed to get me good to go. My doc says you'd be good to go. So I plan to dance. Come on out and let's have some fun. All right, bye-bye.